huge turnout.
Huge numbers.
Yeah, huge numbers for our, we're a relatively small town, 30,000 type town.
Oh gosh. Tell me again where you are.
Savage, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
It's south of Minneapolis.
Okay. I think I voted like 3 weeks ago, right when it opened, and it was crazy busy. I live outside of DC, so they kept ringing this bell over and over again. I'm like, why are you ringing this bell? And they're like, it's first time voters. I was like, oh.
Wow.
But it was like an alarm, like over and over again. So, I mean, it was good, first time voters. They were like, 12-year-old kids voting that were 18, legal, but they were just look so stupid, young. Like, you know nothing. I hope you read some stuff.
But were they voting right? Were they voting their gun vote?
You can't write, you can't really ask.
No, you can't.
Sometimes you can tell by the piece of paper they have in their hand, right?
Whenever I'm at my USPSA matches, on my holster, I've got the I voted sticker on it. So it just gives the word out there.
I do think it's really important that the people in our community, just the 2A community in general, Christian community, 2A community, I don't care what you're in, that we're responsible for our family, that we get out and vote tomorrow.
I'm not sure if I told this group before, but there in the United States, there's over 10 million gun owners not registered to vote.
I think I read that they dwindled it down to hunters. 10 million hunters aren't. Do we have
It was
10 million
described to me
hunters?
as gun owners, and they said they
Yeah.
do some sleuthing with permits and sales and hunting license but just in Minnesota, my state, it's 261,000 more than that.
That's that's crazy.
That's it's huge.
It is huge. And I do think we have to be responsible for our small community, like our family, that we get out and vote. If they have not already, that they get out and vote tomorrow.
I could at
Um,
least say that I influenced two people to go vote today, so I got two more on there.
we need everybody to do that. Bill, did you vote? I don't know if he's with us. Who else didn't tell me? Trusted iPhone.
I was gonna vote today, and I found out that early voting is not a thing, like the day before.
Yeah,
No, I guess me and my two oldest daughters are gonna go tomorrow.
yeah. So our early voting ended Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, I think ours ended over the weekend, and I told my wife, I was like, I can go today, and she's like, just do it after work on Monday. I'm like, all right. And that's not the case. So,
That's okay. You can join the mayhem tomorrow.
yeah.
Okay, we need to like a poll going on here. Like, when are results going to come out? How many days is it going to take?
I'll
Friday,
say it's going
next
to be
month?
so huge, we'll know right away. How about that?
Amen. I don't know, man.
So iPhone's here.
Hi, Mr. iPhone. You know how to
Uh,
change that, right?
well, yeah, I do, but I'm usually late to the party, right? And so I need to jump on my computer and do it.
That's
So,
okay. All right. All right, let's talk about grow and go. What we do this week? I'll tell you what I did. I hired somebody new for our team to manage my Go High Level account and some of my Facebook ads because I need people smarter than me. I know I'm pretty good at the basics, but our market has become very flooded, so I need somebody smarter than me. And I don't really want to learn I'd rather pay somebody than learn how to do it, especially when it's like $100. I also started a course, a SaaS course. It means software as service. I got somebody else coming in. Okay. I started a course so I can grow Instructor Stash on a not just a business owner level, but as a corporate level, which is new to me. You know, I think most of us are either self-employed or small business owners, which is great. But if I want to go where I want to go, I have to increase my skill level. So we started that today. I also opened it up to our staff. I'm really big about educating our staff. I don't want to be the smart one in the room. I need everybody around me needs to be significantly an expert in whatever their field is. And that's important to me as a business owner. Like my admin girl, I swear she's so bright. Like she catches all my mistakes all the time. Like I'm super happy for her, right? All right. Matthew, did you vote? We were talking about voting. Did you go vote?
Yes, I voted a couple of days ago.
Good deal. We're talking about being responsible for our family, getting your family out. If they have not already, getting them out and voting tomorrow. I think every vote's going to count. You hear that all the time. This is the most important, most important election, but I really think it is the most important election that we have. There's a lot going on. All right, that's what I did this week. What did you guys do? What were you? Excuse me one moment. Sorry, gotta get the kid out the door. Okay. All right, what did you do this week? What were your accomplishments? Did you teach anything? What business steps did you take? What advertising? What money did you spend? What education did you take? So that's what we're looking for.
Well, I'll be bold and go first. I did have a class on Saturday. Typical class lately, it was 4 people. So that's kind of typical, doing Minnesota permit to carry. And I was listening to a couple of the past weeks when I wasn't able to attend, and you were talking about teaming up with the VFW, and that's exactly right. They provide my meeting space for me. And when I very first got started, I called them up and said what I wanted to do, and they said, okay, we can do that. And I said, how much is it for the room? Oh, it's free. No charge. Like, oh, you got to be kidding me. No charge? I'm in. So they give me the whole room. As long as there's nothing else going on, I can, have the whole room for my classes. So I did a class with 4 people. Now this was my kind of a unique event for me. My first 5-year renewal showed up.
Oh.
In Minnesota, you have to renew every 5 years, and you got to take the whole class. So my first 5-year renewal came in. So now I'm going to be able to start getting some, hopefully, uh, line of customers to show up, the people that I had before. And since they always gave me great reviews, I'm hoping that they're coming back.
I mean, when you have return clients, that it's a pretty good sign that you're doing something right.
Yeah. And then I also set up all my dates for next year. Put all the dates into the VFW, and I'm going to be mostly once a month now, because what I typically do is I'll do a Saturday and I'll do a Tuesday twice a month. And my Tuesdays I struggle to get anybody to show up for those.
Well, why don't you pick another day?
Well, that's interesting.
You know,
That could be,
like I pick Thursday and I usually have, I would say six,
okay.
roughly six. What time on a Tuesday is it?
I do the afternoon. I do 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the
Try,
weekday.
try five. How long is the class?
My class is 4 hours, and I'm kind of limited to being able to get to the range to do
What
the
time's,
qualification.
okay, so let's back this up a little bit. What time's the range close?
They close 7 or 8, something like
Can you,
that. So
can you Google that real quick? That's a different, yeah. What time do they close? Seven or eight?
let's see.
So let's say eight. So while you look that up, how many hours is book time or at the VFW?
That's 4 hours.
4 hours in the classroom.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many hours on the range?
The range, it depends on how many students. I take them on the range one at a time. It's 10 to 15 minutes maximum for each student. So it all depends on how many people I have.
Okay, so let's just say you like a number four. So let's say it's 15 minutes, so that's another hour. So really your class is 5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And
Okay.
it's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is my
Okay, great.
cutoff
So
time.
how long does it take to get to the classroom to the range?
Um, 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, 20 minutes. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Could you go 3 to 8 with 4 students? Now that's a hard cutoff at 8 o'clock. There's no
Yeah,
grace
so
there.
that's 4 hours class time, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1 hour at the range. Then there's no travel time there, so it would
There
have
is
to
no
be
travel
2.
time there.
It'd have to be 2 o'clock. Yeah, so that's sort of a restriction.
I, um,
I've got a suggestion for you.
yeah, go.
One of the things that I do is I save all my group classes for the weekends. I do private instruction of one or two or a couple during the week, and I just in the last 2 months just finished turning 60 students.
Wow.
So he brings up a really good point. So I'll tell you my schedule again. Um, Thursdays and Saturdays are our basic class. We teach first steps on Thursdays, 4 to 7:30. We're usually done between 7:30 and 8. We have a hard cutoff at 8 because the range is closed. Saturday we're about 8:30 to 2:30, and that includes range time. That's everything. Thursdays afternoon, I do less private lessons, and Friday morning I do private lessons. I don't typically teach on Thursdays. I have a lead instructor who does it for me unless she's out, being a grandma or whatever, being with her kids. So that's how I do it. So he has a really great point. If you want to make one day a week committed to private lessons and taking your current students that you've already done and making them into regular clients.
Hmm.
Because 15 minutes on the range is, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. And I always close my class with get some additional training.
You are the additional training.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, get additional training. Come to me. You can rent my time for by the hour. And the difficulty for doing like any kind of interesting training is that that's at an indoor range, and they don't let you draw from holsters or multiple targets. But I can spend an hour with you and get your marksmanship down.
So, I mean, we can draw in my range, but it usually takes me it takes a student to, I don't know, 8, 9 lessons, 9 hours just to get to the draw
Right.
before I even teach you the draw.
Yeah.
I won't teach you the draw until you can come to the range by yourself
Right.
and feel comfortable. So you have at least 5 to 9 hours of additional training that you can offer them just on marksmanship, range etiquette,
Sure.
distance, speed. I don't know if your target's turn, one-handed shooting.
Right.
Before you even get to the draw, there's a lot of room there to resell your clients. And if you just pick one day a week, even if it's Tuesday or whatever, you block hours. Most people like the evening because they get off of work. And just set and make appointments. And then reach out to your current students that you have. Send them an email regularly every week or so. And, do a Thanksgiving, special 20% off or whatever, run your business. And how are you how are you booking your classes and stuff? Are you on Dash?
No, I'm not on Dash. I like Dash. I think it's nice. I just don't have the volume in my mind to
Yeah, that's okay. But how are you booking appointments?
so they can either go through my website, they can sign up directly in the website,
Okay.
or they contact me. And my procedure is you need to send me your full name as it appears on your license so
Mhm.
that I can have your certificate filled out
Mhm.
in advance for you. And
Sure.
when you send me your full name, that tells me you're coming. And
So
it's
when do they pay for it?
again, most people pay at the class. You can pay by credit card at the website. But I get a lot of people that just they want to pay cash or check. They don't want to use their credit card. They're kind of funny.
Sure. I mean, I do not do that. I don't, um,
I
I,
know a lot of people, want the payment up front to credit card only in advance, but I haven't done that.
so I think it depends where you're located at. Here in, Northern Virginia, if they don't put skin in the game, they're not coming.
Yeah.
So, and I still have people all the time who don't show up.
Oh wow, even after they paid.
Even after they paid $169, they don't come.
Wow.
And then they don't even like email me like, I'm sorry my kid was sick. They just don't come.
Yeah.
Um, as long as that works for you, it's okay. Right? As long as people aren't saying I'm coming, but then they don't show up,
Yeah.
you might have to readdress your, rules of your business. But if they're coming and paying and they're not bailing on you, because they're nice
There's
country
been a
folks,
few over the years, a few that just don't show up. No warning, just they don't come.
Yeah. So it sounds to me like you have nice country people. I deal with, city folks and they're busy and they forget. And so as long as that works for you, I think it's fine. I do think you should reach out to your past students, even if it's just 30 of them or how many you have, and start getting some people in. The secret to booking appointments for private lessons is figuring out a good price point, like
Mhm.
what's reasonable in your area. So I charge $75 an hour. And in my area, I'm low. I could probably easy do 99. And I have some instructors who do $100 an hour, plus they charge their clients to use their guns, another 20 or
Oh,
30
wow.
bucks.
No,
So
I don't do that.
I don't do any of that. I'm a flat but they are responsible for their range fee and ammo.
So
Right.
for
But
mine, I charge 95 an hour. That includes range fee, does not include ammo, but they can use my guns if they want.
yeah. How much is your
And
range fee?
the range fee, 12.50, I think, is the range fee. So it's not much. It's pretty cheap.
Yes, that's
Um,
ours starts at, well, if you're an NRA member, it's 15 an hour. If you're not, it's 25, and if it's your first visit, it's 35.
oh wow.
We're in the city.
But
Very
the
different.
handful of people that I've done privates for, nobody has balked at the price. In fact, I had one lady that I was doing, and she just wanted to keep going, and she, gave me $200, and like, don't worry about the change. Just okay.
Yeah, I really stick to an hour. I find that a lot of my new students, after they hit about that 50-minute mark, they start to fall apart. Like they're just tired.
They do.
It's loud, they're mentally worn out. They've already shot 75 rounds or so. And I can usually tell. I'm like, are you full? I would say, you full? You full of guns? And they're like, yeah, we're good. I was like, okay. And then the secret is when you go out and you walk them out of the range and they wash up or whatever, I rebook an appointment
Nice.
or rebook 5 appointments. Okay, let's book next month. How many lessons? And I don't know if it's good or bad, but I do a lot of assumptive selling. I'm going to assume you love me and you're going to book another appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
okay, so what's next? Do we want to do this every week, every other week? And I would say the life cycle of my students are really about a year. I have a couple that are a little bit longer, but most of them run about a year. And I've talked to like Taekwondo people and just other coaches in whatever industry, and their cycle for students for private stuff is about a year.
Okay.
Something happens, they move, they get sick, they, whatever. So they're about a year, and I have one client that comes every single week with me without fail. And most of my other clients are about every other week.
Hmm.
And I
Do you
do
know how
about 6
many
lessons a week.
Do you know how many people you can put on an email coming out of Outlook before you cause problems and you need to go to MailChimp or something like that?
I don't. That's a really great question because I'm struggling with this right now. I don't like Outlook, and I don't know why, but what my lead coach, my lead instructor, uses Outlook a lot, and a lot of her students don't get her emails, and it's just 1-to-1. It's her to one student.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. So I don't know if that's Outlook. I don't know if Outlook's anti-gun. I don't know if it's the user. I don't know if it's the receiver. Right? So I think you could very easily send 20, BCC line copy people at
Yep.
least 20 without having to jump to something else. And then I would just send maybe 2 or 3 emails. How many clients do you have?
I mean, I've had about 500 over the years. So I remember one time trying to do a big email, and it kicked it all back. It wouldn't work. So okay,
Yeah.
now I did it in groups of 10. I mean,
Huh.
here's 10 names. Boom.
Yeah,
Here's 10
just
names.
use
Boom.
if you understand MailChimp, just use MailChimp or whatever equivalent.
Or
'Cause
constant
it's gonna,
contact with one of those people.
yeah, find pricing, and I use Go High Level, but they're $100 a month. But they do a lot of other stuff for me. They do all my automated text messaging. They do my sales funnels. They do all my communications back and forth to all my clients. They answer the phone for me. They do a lot.
Wow. Yeah, that's way more than I need.
Yeah. So I did start with MailChimp. I was pretty happy with them. I think you want to find somebody you can buy blocks, not a monthly recurring charge, not $40 a month or whatever. You want to buy I want to buy 1,000 emails,
Oh,
right? So 1,000 emails is going to cost me, I don't know, make up a number, $9, right? So you don't want to sign up for a service if you don't have to. I know most of them now are going to monthly recurring subscription based, but do what I would look around a little bit. I would start on YouTube I would start there
yeah, right.
and
That's
find
where everyone searches.
yeah.
Cool.
All right, what else we got? Hi, Matthew. How are you? You get unmute here. There you go. Hit the button. There you go.
I'm just hanging out, see what you guys up to. I'm retired law enforcement, and most of my teaching in New York City before I moved to South Carolina was armed guards and self-defense, and I would teach at police instructor conferences. Since I moved to South Carolina, which is right by Savannah. When I moved down here 3 years ago, I got a job at a indoor shooting range. And we did some teaching. It's many tourists come down, so I did a lot of teaching. And I figured, well, let me, so I started advertising at some local gun stores, and I have access to the range, I can pretty much do whatever I want. So I settled on most of my clients come from a gun store around the corner, and they always recommend me to like first time shooters. So I give a basic class for $150 for 2 hours. If it goes over, that's fine. Before we start, I send them a couple of videos I used to use in my on guard classes. So we have a head start. And I sit them down at the table. I have all the dummy guns and the dummy ammunition, and all these Nerf guns and stuff I bought on Amazon. So 2 hours seems to be about it.
So there's no live shooting?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Then we go. The 2 hours includes about 50 to like six, like you said, after 50 or 60 rounds. I always insist on someone starting with a 22.
I agree. So 90% of what you just said is what we do. We send out homework beforehand.
Right.
$149. 2 hours is a little fast for me. I don't know how you teaching all that in 2 hours. That's pretty quick. But if you
Well,
can do it. Yeah.
I was teaching agencies, so I had a step pro, but it's pretty much individual based. Like one couple actually went about a half hour over because they had questions about shotguns and like home defense. I rarely get repeat students. I know some of the more established instructors here, and they're all former special forces, DEA, and stuff. And they tell me that they can't build classes. There's one guy, he had this class twice offered. I signed up for the class. He says, "You can pay me when you get there." He goes, "Don't bother showing up." Nobody signed up. So when I taught in New York during COVID, we found that simply basic firearms, people never touched a gun before, was kind of like my forte. But I'm nowhere near the type of level. I don't really have a website. I don't, trying to get some flyers. I do work for a company called U.S. Law Shield, which we sell self-defense insurance. So I do go to gun shows to push that. I also push private lessons and stuff. But down here in the South, Savannah, everybody knows about guns. They're all experts. You can't teach them anything. I'm being, of course, facetious.
Sure. I get it. I totally understand. So we did partner up with a couple of gun shops. We put flyers in. We do have a website. We do have a checkout system on our website that manages everything. Most of the guys on here use it. It's called Instructor Stash. It's made for firearm instructors. It's pretty easy. You don't have to have a website or anything. You just sign up and does the sales page for you.
There is something down here I've seen that the locals use, and they pretty much advertise all your classes here. But I'm not really set up to do group classes. Like I do belong to an outdoor range just south of Savannah where I can, I do a lot of free training for like police and stuff and, military guys just off the cuff. So I can just take a range anytime I want. But, I'm pretty much retired. If I get a couple of, I'd like to learn how to set up a website eventually, but I'm 72 years old. At this point, I don't think I've been doing this for 40 years. At this point, I think I'm just wouldn't mind getting a few more private lessons, but I don't know.
I think the best way to book private lessons is at the end of your class when they're all jazzed up. And it's a sales pitch. Like, hey, you had fun today. You want to continue? And can I put you on the calendar for a private lesson? They're more likely to say yes than if you go back even a week or even a couple of days later when their adrenaline's down and they get busy. So if you guys really want to pursue private lessons, it needs to be one of your last slides.
That's a good idea because I never chase students. I don't call them. Hey, I got. I'm not a salesman. I'm just happy that they came for at least one class. I think the most I had a woman who was 75 years old, and she had a .38 revolver for 50 years, which she never fired. So we had to work with her for like a couple of lessons, and we finally settled for her Glock 42. and she can shoot it, but she can't load it. So I said, here's what you're going to do. If you want to shoot the gun, you're going to come to our range. You're going to pay the $18 an hour fee. You're going to shoot your gun. When you're done, one of us is going to take your gun, clean it, lube it, and
That's nice of you.
reload it for you because you can shoot, but you get I get a lot of older clientele.
Sure.
I get people in the 60s to I think close to 80, and it's interesting working with them. Like I've been working at this range in Savannah called Quick Shot Savannah since 2021. And we could take someone, the guys work there are all, I mean, my daughter worked there. Guys are all young guys, unlike me, ex-military. We could take someone, a tourist, never fired a gun before, and we could have safely shooting. Now, they're not learning anything except how to safely shoot the gun at the range. It's not like a class. But, I don't
Do
know.
they do private lessons at the range?
Well, they do. They charge $100 an hour and they pay us $10. So we'd rather just do it for free. We're there anyway, getting paid by the hour. We say, listen, if you come in when it's not busy, we can go back with you there and we can work with you.
Okay, so I'm going to show you this racking. It's called a charging handle. No, it's not the best picture. I'm going to try to do it here. So it's a loop that goes on the back of a Glock and that they can just stick their finger in and pull.
How does that attach?
You take the back plate off.
Oh,
It's super simple. And I've given these to a lot of my older clients, and they're cheap and they're easy to put on the gun.
yeah.
So there are solutions for that if she can't rack real well.
Yeah, I found if they can't rack a semi-automatic, they can't pull the trigger of a double action revolver. So it's kind of like, some people just shouldn't have guns. I mean, I hate to say that. Some people just cannot manipulate a gun. But I must admit, I don't, people don't know me. I have no website, so if they call me up for a lesson, I don't charge in advance. I say, come down. And I think only once I had a no-show. So what I do is that I bring a bunch of my own guns. If they don't show up, I just shoot.
Oh, to be retired. Sounds so lovely.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to talk about the BOI, the Bowie report that's due by the end of the year. Do you guys know what that is? Anybody here?
No.
The ownership, the beneficial ownership report that the federal government is requesting that is done by the end of the year. Has anybody in here done it yet? Doug, it took 5 minutes? It's the whole, we're going to watch a video on it. It's a 8-minute video, but the whole point of it is to stop, I'm not big government. I think it's an overreach, but I don't want to pay $500 a day fine if you don't have it done by January 1. It costs $0 to do. You just have to have some information. But the point of it is to stop money laundering through online transactions is what I understand it is.
I was wondering what the purpose of it was, because it was like, this is all basic information that's already under my LLC, or, there was nothing unique about it.
No, I was actually kind of annoyed. I was like, you have all this. I pay taxes. Like,
Look it up.
yeah. So we're gonna watch a quick video on here. Let's go share to everybody can see that, right? All right. Here we go.
What's up, YouTube? Dan Becker here. Today I'm here with ownership information report with FinCEN. Everyone's been talking about this. With this report starting January 1st, 2024, or get 500 penalties, all these crazy penalties. Well, it's a really easy report, and I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to do it for me, one of my companies that I have, and I'm going to show you how to do it and kind of explain you through it all. Okay, what part of this video is sent to your friends? Say, guys, this report, every business owner who has an LLC, a partnership, a corporation, anything registered in any of the states. And if you have any company registered in a state in the United States, you generally have to comply with this report. I have another video explaining who actually has to do it. So check out that video if you don't think it's you. But basically, if you have an LLC or a corporation or any kind of entity created in the United States, you need to submit this report one time, and then every time that your information changes. If you change your address, if you change your ownership, you have to update the report. And I'm going to share that with you now. So let me share my screen. Let's get to it. So you are going to go to BOIE-filing.FinCEN.gov. Welcome to the BOI e-filing system. Supports the electronic filing of the beneficial ownership information report under the Corporate Transparency Act. The CTA requires certain types of U.S. and foreign entities to report beneficial ownership information to Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, a bureau of the U.S. Department of Treasury, a bureau of it. So there's two ways to do it. The thing where you download a PDF, fill out the PDF and upload it, or you can just do it online. So we're going to do Adobe Reader is required to do it this way. This is where you are going to download the form, do it offline at your own pace. Let's prepare it. I'm going to download this too. Let's look at it. Instructions, validate, finalize, save, print. Type of filing, initial report, which is almost everyone. If you've never done it, it's the initial report. Legal name, tax ID. So we're going to put initial report first. Now on here we have the home, and we have the reporting company, and this is where you're going to put your LLC name. You're going to have your company applicants, and this is going to be generally not for you right now if you're doing it, and then the beneficial ownership. Okay, so I'm going to do it the online version though. Prepare and submit BOIR. And editing team, please don't share my personal infos with these guys on the internet. I love you, YouTube, but I want to share you all my personal deets. So here we go. Filing information. Initial report is what we're doing right now. It's the first time we're filing. If you have to correct a prior report, or if you update a prior report, this is like to include more ownership or maybe an address. It doesn't really specify if it's an address or not. If you have questions, there's the FAQs for the BOI report, general questions, reporting questions. If you have any questions, go to FinCEN.gov/BOI-FAQs facts, and this will answer all of this stuff for you. There's no videos to watch, just read it and search it on there. So type of filing for me, initial report. Now I'm going to next it. I'm going to eventually do a FinCEN ID. So check the FinCEN ID box to get a unique FinCEN identifier. So I have a number of different companies for whatever reason, and a FinCEN ID will allow me to just type in a number instead of enter all the information about my beneficial ownership. So I'm going to do that for me later. Tax ID, I'm going to put in my EIN. I'm going to put in my EIN there. This is a foreign only. So you can put it on a foreign company if your foreign company is registered in the state, in a state. No dash, just the number. Country, jurisdiction of formation. This is a Florida company, but we're going to put United States of America as the jurisdiction. State of formation is going to be Florida, and then current U.S. address. The current U.S. address. Now, a lot of people are asking about the address. They're saying, James, I don't have a U.S. address. Well, you have to put in something. They don't want you to put in your registered agent address, put in a business address, put in any address where you can receive mail. But if you're a foreign person with a foreign company, and I mean, with a foreign person that owns an LLC, and you don't have U.S. address, you have to use the best address that you got. Now we're at the company applicants. So if you pay me to open a company for you, I'm going to put in my information as a company applicant because I'm a company that's doing this application for you. If you go to Northwest or these other whatever, like LegalZoom or whatever, to open a company, I believe that the organizer is going to be the company applicant, and they're going to fill it out with their FinCEN ID. Right now, we're an existing reporting company. That means that you were open before 2024. If you're opening a company after 2024, you have to see if this is being reported on your behalf or not. If you work with me, we're going to just do this automatically because we're required to do it as the company applicant. And you can read about this company applicant stuff here. Who is a company applicant, a reporting company? And it talks about it on this website. Basically, not all the company applicant can be the accountant or whoever is the organizer of the company, whoever filled out the documentation. So, but right now we don't have to do that because these are old companies. Beneficial owner, add beneficial owner. If you have a FinCEN ID, you can type that in and we're good. You have to put in the entity last name or entity's legal name if it's an entity, but they want a person. So I'm going to put Baker and I'm going to put James because y'all know me. I'm going to blur this date of birth. It's a secret. You just missed my birthday, everyone. Subscribe as a birthday present for me. It would make me so happy if you guys are watching this far. My birthday. Okay, now I need my residential address. It looks like it can be foreign. So you can have a foreign residential address. I would put in whatever your address is. Foreign address is fine. Again, this information isn't going to be shared. It's all private. The only people that can get access to this information is a foreign government or a bank or someone who's suspecting you of doing some illegal activity and they're looking into you into FinCEN. So only if you're being investigated or you're like doing illegal stuff would this ever really even be seen by anyone. The FinCEN isn't supposed to be allowed to share this stuff. And I talked about this a lot more in the other video about who needs to file this, which is kind of everybody. Form of identification from issuing jurisdiction. So this is going to be a driver's license, which is what I'm going to use, a U.S. passport, a foreign passport, or a state, local, tribe issued ID. So most people are going to use a foreign passport or U.S. driver's licenses. I wouldn't put my U.S. passport on. I have to use my U.S. driver's license. You need the document number, you need the jurisdiction, you need the state, and you need actually to upload an image of the document. And that's it. So I have my state driver's license, I have my number, I have my jurisdiction, I have my state, and then I have a picture of the image I'm going to put next here. Okay, so it says the willful failure to complete the information or to update it. It may result in civil or criminal penalties. Okay, complete the report in its entirety with all the required information. And I'm certifying here, I am authorized to file this BOIR on behalf of the reporting company. I further certify on behalf of the reporting company that the information contained in this is true, correct, and complete. So this is me submitting it. I'm putting my email in so I get a confirmation, my first name, my last name. I'm going to submit it, and then I'm going to save my confirmation. So that's it, guys. It took me 10 minutes to do this, and I'm like going all over the place, back and forth, getting the information, explaining it, teaching you how to do it. If you thought this video was helpful, please like and subscribe. If you don't know if you need to do this form or not, click this video again. I just did a
Okay.
long video with the whole present.
All right. So could you hear that well? Was it okay? Okay. So here's the, let me go back to share. So it's BOIE filing.finance.gov. And I put this on our page the other day in our Facebook group. It is on there. And then you're going to go here to filing. It is really simple. He made it a little bit more complicated. A lot of us just use our home address as our business address. So, and then in a couple days, they will send you a confirmation email, which I have somewhere for you. Yeah. So here's my confirmation email that they send you successful. It doesn't cost anything. Just keep an eye out for this, file it away. But this has to be done by December 31st. So let's do it this month. Let's get it done and get it off your record. I have 3 businesses, so I had to do it 3 times. The only complicated thing was making sure your ID was uploaded. I just took a picture of it and sent it to myself. And then having your EIN number. The EIN number, the key here is that it has no dashes in it. No, it's just because it has two digits, a dash, and then 5, I think. 7, I can't remember. So just take the dash out and that's it. But that needs to be done. It's $500 a day if you don't do this by the end of the year. Now, are they really going to come in like a small business owner and be like, you owe me 20 grand, right? I don't know. I do know it's been challenged. It's in the court system. People are stating that it's unconstitutional, but I did wait all year until a couple of days ago to see what would happen. Nothing has happened with that court case, so I just got it done. That's all I got, guys. It's pretty important, though. I know it's simple, but it needs to be done. Any questions for me? Any questions about Instructor's Dash? Any questions about business, training, NRA programs, website stuff?
Have you had any success with the market saturation? I've noticed personally now maybe because I've started running ads, but I'm starting to see ads for uh bigger companies that charge half of what we charge in my area. So I like my ears like perked up and I thought about you. Have you found any
Um,
best practices?
so I did increase I tried other platforms they were not on. So a lot of them were doing Facebook ads. I pulled most of my Facebook ad. I still have one running, but it's like $5. It's a couple dollars a day. It's not even that much. Um, and I've limited my reach down to like 20 miles from the range. I made it tighter, and then I took that money and went into I put that extra money into Google. Now my hope is to find one more platform that I'm not familiar with to run ads. Um, I don't know what that looks like yet. I don't know if I'm gonna do like I don't have a TikTok account. Like it seems real sketch to me, but it's as far as running ads, it seems as a business owner, it seems really good.
I would say if you're not doing TikToks, at my 9 to 5 job, I work with a lot of young kids, and that's always where they say they saw something of mine. Like, oh, Jimmy, I saw your video on TikTok. So if you're doing just non-firearm related stuff, that's usually the safest way to just get your name out there. I do like small basic videos of, like looking around your house to see like weak points and stuff like that, like just non-specific to firearms because
Sure,
they really don't like that stuff.
sure. Um, I
I
did
was
try Rumble earlier this year.
I get zero traction on Rumble.
Yeah, it was a total waste of money.
I post on every single social media that I can find, and I hate it. It sucks, but it I don't notice attraction anywhere else. But like I still put it out. Maybe not the same like one to one that I do for Facebook, but like at the end of every class, I'll do like a quick edit of like 6 to 10 pictures,
Yep.
like on a pre-made template, and then I'll text the link to the people in class. So that way, if they're not already following us on Facebook, they're, oh, okay, cool, I'll like it. And then I'll invite them to like us. And it helps build like that. But it also, I mean, I'll then share that like short 10-second video across all those platforms.
That's great. Also, that brings up a good point. Make sure your classes are posted on as a Facebook event.
Yep.
It's free. You already have a Facebook business page. I'm not talking about your private page, right? I'm not talking about Darby's grandma page, right? I'm talking about your live fire instruction, your business page. If you don't have one, go open one. Again, they're free. Put all your events on there. Put your tickets like where you do have to be able to buy it. So I don't know if you can put an event up without a ticket.
You can
Information.
direct them to Dash. You can direct them to your website from that way. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can direct them to Dash or your website, but I was thinking about for those who do not have, who just do cash, like Doug does cash, right? And Matthew they do cash. So I don't know, you'd have to go and play with that. I don't know how that would work if you don't. I guess you'd put it in the description that it's and mark it as a free class so it doesn't ask for a ticket sale, but you put it in the description, pay when you get there or whatever your words are, your copy is. So
I'm in
amazing.
the same boat as you. We don't do nothing unless they pay ahead of time.
I'm
So
too
I
busy.
mean, yeah. But I can understand for like Doug said before, cash customers, that's great. I wish we had more of them, but it seems to be a marketed thing.
Yeah, I agree. Um, we will probably pick up another. I really want to do television ads like on Hulu or something, but I applied and they told me no way. And now there's another one, Peacock, I think it is. or CBS or something. They're running ads for a couple of dollars an ad. I don't know much information about that. I don't even know if they would even entertain our type of business, but I'm definitely going to do it for Instructor's Dash.
You know, and another tip for the Facebook, which I do is groups that I'm in, like my competition shooting group, I create an event and post it there.
Yeah.
Just like you're talking about with your own site. So I put an event on those other sites, and
Mhm.
I've got some traction from that a little bit.
Hmm.
But one of the things that I've been struggling with, I tried doing Facebook Marketplace
Mhm.
to sell a class, and I look up in there, and there are people selling Minnesota permit to carry classes. And man, I've been accused of selling guns. I've been accused of selling documents. I've been accused of having nothing for sale and
Yeah.
duplicate items for sale. You must
Yeah.
change your picture.
I wouldn't advertise on Facebook Marketplace, but here's the thing. If you run ads on Facebook, they will show up in Facebook Marketplace. But Facebook does that. You don't do that. So it doesn't get flagged.
Yeah.
That's
It
the
has
worst.
worked once or twice before, and I just copy and paste and do the same thing, and then I get flagged. I just don't understand it.
Okay.
But another app to look at, I'm not sure if this is nationwide or not, but an app called Nextdoor.
Yep.
I get lots of customers off Nextdoor. I
Yeah.
create an event, put it up there, you know, at the VFW on November 12th, give my details, and I can put a picture of someone at the shooting range. I can
Sure.
put anything in there. It's been no pushback at all.
So I thought Nextdoor took some of your revenue. How do they make money?
I mean, I don't pay for anything with it. I mean, I imagine you could maybe boost it or something, but I just post it and it
That's really
posts to
interesting.
my area, whatever my area is.
Yeah. I'll look
And
into that. That sounds pretty good because I
that's
see a
great.
lot of ads for Nextdoor. Um, but the last time I looked at it, I thought their revenue share was too expensive. Maybe
And
they
for me,
Um,
I
model.
say, you know, go to my website or send me an email so they can either send me the email for
Mhm.
cash people or go
Mhm.
to the website if you're a credit card person.
Mhm.
And I can put all the information in, you know, about the class, what it's good for, all that kind of stuff.
I will check that out this week.
So give up on Marketplace posting it myself,
Yeah,
huh?
I'll do that.
I
Sorry.
tell you, I'm just banging my head against the wall.
No, I think the big thing is finding local groups and then asking the admin to post it for you, and then they tag everyone on it. Like I do, you get one tag a day. It's called everyone, everybody, everyone. Yeah, everyone. It's the @ sign and then everyone, then everybody gets tagged. Like probably how you found the link for today. I tag everybody on it. But doing that works. Sometimes they'll charge you $10 to do a post or whatever. It might be worth it if you get 3 clients out of it.
And another old school method, I actually put up the class on Craigslist of all places. There's people out there that still use Craigslist.
And
Um,
Craigslist hasn't changed in 25 years.
I know. Like I had a student come in one time, and I always ask everybody how you found me, just so I know. And one time early on, they said, "Well, I looked on Craigslist and I didn't see anything, so I found you someplace else." And like, "Oh, really? Craigslist? Okay."
That
I've had a handful come through Craigslist.
Craigslist is so sketch.
Don't put you won't let you put your email in the body, and then
Right.
the emails go through
Yep.
Craigslist. And whenever I get a customer from there, I always say, contact me direct so we can skip the middleman,
Yep.
or go to my website, something like that.
Agreed. I really do think that the cornerstone of our business is you can spend all the money in marketing you want, but this really comes down to relationships. I think taking somebody to lunch and spending $50 is far more effective than running an ad on Google.
All right. Most of my business is all repeat business. You talk about old school way. I live in rural Oklahoma. I'm talking really rural Oklahoma. And we have a newspaper that's about 20, 25 pages long. And I started posting ads weekly that have my logo and a description. They wrote an article about me in the newspaper. They've asked me to send them my blog once a month that they'll run.
That's so cute.
Yeah, in the newspaper, and I'm telling you, it has generated so many leads. It's unbelievable for me. I got people coming out of the woodwork. I had a lady call me yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday, right? She called me yesterday. She said, I've been trying to get in touch with you for 2 or 3 days. I need to take, well, in Oklahoma, that's called an SDA class. It's a Self Defense Act class. She says, I need to take a Self Defense Act class immediately. And I said, well, okay, well, I've got 2 of them coming up next month. She goes, no, you don't understand. I want to do this right now. And I said, okay, well, let's see. Monday, I've got to go do this. And Tuesday, I'm going to be voting. Wednesday, I can take you in as a private student if you want. I'll be there. I'll be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, and we've got an 8 hour class. I mean, that's what we have to teach. I mean, she got me off of out of the newspaper. Okay. So,
You charge extra when it's only privately one student like that?
nope. And going back to your other, I'm pretty expensive. I mean, I feel like I am. I'm $165 a class, and I also I've already done something that you talked about a minute ago. I give a $40 discount if you bring the ad with you. Okay, if you bring the ad out of the newspaper for the month of November and the month of December, I tell them as a Christmas present, I'll give you a $40 discount for that. Of course, I also give discounts for couples. That's usually a $15, $20, a person discount. So I do a lot of those things, and I get a ton of repeat business. I had 5 women who did a women's defensive shooting class with me, and the next thing I know, I get a telephone call. They said, hey, can you do an AR class? I said, I love ARs. Let's go have some fun. They come to me, and I build a whole PowerPoint based upon our AR fundamental class from the USCCA. And I go through this class with them. 3 hours with a 1 hour range time is what it was. And I'm teaching them all about how the firearm works and every part and piece inside of it and everything. And then I said, okay, let's get our weapons and bring them in. They go out to their cars and they bring in boxes. They had brand new weapons they had just bought from the gun store, and they didn't even have the optics mounted on them. Okay. And so I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, all right. So I'll mount all of your optics when we go to the range. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to take and get you on the steel. This is all I'm going to do. I'm going to get you on steel at 25 yards because we're running out of time. They had an appointment. They had something they wanted to do that evening. We're running out of time. I just want you girls to bang out some steel and have a good time. And I'm going to tell you, you've never seen the look on anybody's face like those girls had. They had more fun. And I'm talking about my average student is 50 plus years old. Okay. So I do some pretty wicked stuff. It's a little bit different here in Oklahoma. I've been visited by the Council of Law Enforcement and Education Training Division. That they sent an officer out to observe one of my classes because all of our I have to be registered with they call it CLEAT. It's a law enforcement deal. We have to go through a special instruction deal with them. They have to have 72-hour notification there's a lot in the state of Oklahoma. But you know, um, we we follow the rules pretty real. I mean, close to the letter of the law around here because they come check. You know, but it's starting. It's really gotten busy and hectic here lately.
Good.
Lots of leads, whole lot. Oh, and by the way, I created a website. I do a blog. It's www.makeitcount.us. You can go take a look at that, and I've got somebody that is managing it for me. It's my girlfriend's son who's extremely good. So I just send him stuff and he loads it up for me. I don't have to deal with it because here I am. I'm 70 years old and I'm not very good at all that stuff. Right. So, hence I'm on an iPhone.
Okay, guys, any questions? We're at 8:30. Okay,
I'm
go.
good.
Yeah, go do your homework. If you haven't submitted your report, go do that. I'm gonna ask you next week if you did it.
Well, I run my business stuff through the USCCA.
Yeah.
So I don't have an EIN number.
So you can use your social security number.
Well, but nobody's ever contacted me about doing any of that.
I know
So
it's a new law. So go to the website and click on, do I have to do this?
you know, I'm one of those guys that I steer clear of things that aren't asked of me. You know, I mean, they need to notify me because I haven't seen anything. So
Okay. I'm not your attorney.
I know I've got several good ones though because I'm a partner for the USCCA. So uh,
Okay. All right. I'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out. Same time, same place. I'll see you later.
thanks.
Bye-bye.